Okay, this is day 43, part two. I want to just do a little time toast here. Going back to last year, November the 13th, the grand jury is convened for the Awans. That's because that there was a credit union investigation, in October. And Abid Awan was fired, I believe, in September. Okay? So Teresa Grafenstein hands over the investigation to the FBI right before the election in October. They want to bury this thing. Um, excuse me, the Abid Awan was fired over here on September the 15th. Again, they don't want to have Imran Awan being fired right before the election, so they have Abid Awan being fired. Okay, well, that just seems like an unrelated thing. The election occurs and everything's going to be fine. We'll cover this all up. The Huma story breaks with the 650,000 emails. There's this unlawful detention in the home on the 5th. Now, that could be Galani. That I really think what it is Imran's sort of a high-end concierge service. He's sort of like an executive concierge for the Four Seasons. I'm even going to say that these sheikhs, when they come to the Washington, D.C., they stay in Foggy Bottom at the Four Seasons in Foggy Bottom. I've walked by it, the recessed entry, the everything. It just looks like, Imran driving up in a Bentley for the oil sheikhs, to spend time there, and then he can drive them down to M Street and spend $3,000 a night. All very close to each other. All these places are very close to each other. So maybe that's why Best Limo is so close to Imran's house. But anyway, the night of the burglaries occur on the 20th. They give a false image. Bersera gives a false image of the server. That gives them time to get out of the country. 2 weeks later, the Capitol Police finally get the correct image, so that the destruction of evidence doesn't really work. And then there's another unlawful detention here out by Dulles Airport. Now, this is the same day that the UAE embassy burns. So now Trump's in charge now. Trump could fire the FBI director. I don't think he has done that yet at this point. But now there's all these different agencies that could be investigating this. So they burn the UAE embassy down, and I think they take the girls back here to Dulles Green. Now, did Imran really unlawfully detain somebody here? I don't think so. I think it was an oil sheikh where the girl tried to leave, and where that one of the strippers that Imran had recruited here was trying to get out a window, and the oil sheikh, either hit her or stabbed her or whatever. Something happened here. You can't completely, if you're Fairfax County, you can't completely let this go. So Imran has to take the rap, and I don't really believe Imran's hitting these girls. He's actually just covering for these oil sheikhs. So anyway, there's these three people that are fired in and around. They say March 1st. Jamal, Hina, and Imran, okay, are fired from Congress. Now remember, Abid was already fired. Now none of these people have accepted service yet. Just to let you know, we're about 2 months in. Nobody has accepted service yet. So they're all avoiding service. Well, we know that Hina was arrested at the airport on March 5th. Now, normally, if you're getting away with something, you don't race out of the country. It normally occurs when something breaks, like somebody says, "Hey, somebody stole something here. Who did it?" Well, that's exactly what happened over at the DHS. There was 3 employees at DHS. I wonder if that was Jamal, Hina, and Imran that had just been fired from Congress. Maybe this event actually occurs after this DHS raid. So maybe we'll even move it. Now we'll change it later. Now let's change it now. Let's make it the 10th. Okay, we'll make it the 10th to learn how to use time toast here. So it's probably really was like this. There was the raid occurred. Hina went to the airport, and then they were all fired from Congress. That's probably what happened. So, and then Imran is caught later by the Capitol Police. Well, was it really wait until April 6th? They're already changing their story. In the New York Times, they've already changed the story to say, well, it was an earlier raid, and he left the notebook. He left the backpack in the John Wilkes phone booth, and the Capitol Police didn't find it until 2 weeks later. That is complete trash. That is not how the Capitol Police work. I've been in there too many times. They're always asking me if I ever even set my laptop down there. Sir, is that your bag? Right off the bat. So this is a complete cockamamie lie. What happened was, and what makes a lot more sense, is that Imran immediately went the next day to the Capitol and erased the stuff off the server, off the Becerra server. Now, he might have been caught, and he might have had that information confiscated, and they might have come up with this story about April 6th. But actually, I think all these four events are actually just one thing. They're all just one thing. What basically happened was they got caught that they were double dipping as employees at DHS right here. These three employees, Imran, Hina, and Jamal. They got caught double dipping. They knew that they were also double dipping at Congress, which meant that they could go get the congressional records, right? So he erased all of his records here in Congress, made all the backups. He's getting ready to go. He gives Hina the drives. She leaves and goes to Pakistan. Andy McCabe goes out to the airport and makes sure that she can go. And actually, I think Hina is taking some of this equipment, and then these are going to be blank drives. I doubt very seriously that the image on these drives is going to be the image, an appropriate image. I think it's going to be a fake image. And I think what I would do is I would give Hina, if I'm working on a project for DHS, I'm going to give Hina these projects. And as I said many times before, they're going to be working on this ports project, this logistics project for DHS right there. And it's the case management system. Again, they have a close relationship with Teresa Grafenstein, the Inspector General down here. They're working with a case management system up here with the Inspector General Roth up here. Okay, same case. I think it's going to be the same case management system here as Penn Fed, Navy Federal Credit Union, DoD, etc. I think it's going to be the same management system. As a matter of fact, it says these three employees were working on this case management system in this article, in the New York Times article. Here's where the New York Times just has to come clean. This is making Sean Boberg look bad. It's making the New York Times look bad because you're deliberately leaving out the who, what, when. You're reporting the what, but you're leaving out the who, you're leaving out the when, and you're leaving out the why. The why is they were trying to cover up this spy ring in Congress.